Minecraft has thousands of items, and some are far more rare than others. From the rarest mob in the game packed into a bucket to one of the rarest ores in gaming history. No, it's not diamonds or even netherite. You've probably never even heard about it. So today we'll be going through the rarest items in Minecraft to see which of them is worth trying to add to your collection. With the introduction of the trial chambers in patch 1.21 came a ton of new items, including music discs, the most coveted of which being Creator Music Box, being a 0.8% drop chance from the decorated pots found in Bedrock Edition trial chambers, and a 1.4% drop chance in Java Edition, but due to the limited amount of pots per trial chamber, this music disc is incredibly rare. If you're more of an OG player though, the poisonous potato has been in the game since patch 1.4.2 and can be pretty annoying to get, because you only have a 2% chance of acquiring one of these every time you harvest a full-grown potato plant. There is also a 42% chance you can acquire one of these from a shipwreck chest. However, if you're more into collecting items that you can put on your wall, you will definitely want a piglin head. But this is no easy task, because you will have to make sure the piglin dies to a charged creeper explosion, meaning you will have to either make sure the creeper gets hit by lightning naturally or a trident with the channeling enchantment. Then you have to get the charged creeper into the nether, which is made much easier if you put the creeper in a boat, because this will prevent them from chasing you and detonating. Simply push the boat through the nether portal, find a piglin, and destroy the boat with no other mobs nearby to guarantee your piglin head drop. The next few items are also not easy to acquire, starting with the screaming goat horn, because screaming goats only have a 2% chance of spawning in the place of a regular goat. And to get the goat horn, you'll have to get an adult goat to ram into a hard block like stone or iron. Now there are 8 different goat horns in the game, 4 of which are dropped by normal goats, and the other 4 are dropped by screaming goats, meaning they can't even appear in a chest. I highly suggest if you want to collect all the horns, you make a goat farm, but even then this is a difficult task. Not nearly as difficult as acquiring a slime ball from a baby panda though. When a baby panda sneezes, they have a 1 out of 700 chance of producing a slime ball. This can only happen with baby pandas, so you'll have about 20 minutes for this to occur. If you want to increase your chances, feed them bamboo. This will slightly increase your chances, but even then, this is a long shot. However, even this is nothing compared to getting a suspicious stew from a brown mushroom, which can only be obtained if your world has a mushroom field biome, something that is already not very common. In this biome, instead of cows spawning, you will have mushrooms, which are red cows with mushrooms growing on them. When breeding mushrooms, there is a 1 in 1024 chance they will make a brown mushroom. Getting a suspicious stew from one of these requires you to feed it a flower, and then milk it with a bowl. The type of flower you feed it will affect the type of suspicious stew you get, but the suspicious stew probably isn't as useful as the recovery compass. For this item, you will have to adventure to another rare biome. This time you will have to find an ancient city structure within the deep dark biome. Searching in a chest in this biome, you have a chance of gathering echo shards. If you get 8 echo shards, all you need to do is place them on a crafting bench surrounding a normal compass, which is much easier said than done. Crafting this compass is extremely helpful though, because it points you in the direction of your last death, allowing you to recover your items. Even super rare items like the blue axolotl in a bucket. Getting a blue axolotl is already one of the hardest things to do in Minecraft, because in order for you to get one, it is a 1 in 1200 chance while breeding, regardless of the parent's color. For this, you will need a warm ocean biome and buckets of tropical fish. After finally getting one, you will need a bucket to put this little guy in so he can be stored and shown off to all your friends, along with another exceedingly rare animal item, pink sheep wool, because when found in the wild, pink sheep only have a 0.164% chance of spawning. This means that the pink sheep is one of the rarest mobs in the entire game. So if you're lucky enough to find one, make sure you have your shears on you and to gather some of that sweet, sweet pink wool. If you want a better chance of finding a rare animal item, you'd be better off trying to get bamboo from a brown panda. Pandas are by far the cutest mob in Minecraft, and if you are lucky enough, you will come across a brown panda. With only a 2.5 chance of spawning, this naturally makes it the perfect pet to bring back to your house. When the brown panda dies, it drops a piece of bamboo, and if you already knew that, you are a monster. Since most of the player base takes good care of their precious brown pandas, not many players have received a piece of bamboo from them, making it one of the rarest items in the game. Moving on to something much harder to kill, another star can only be obtained by killing the Wither, which is one of the hardest bosses in the game. Summoning using 4 blocks of soul sand in a T formation and placing 3 Wither skulls on top. Due to the difficulty of this boss, only Minecraft veterans have defeated the Wither. Beating this item is pretty rare, even though it's used to craft useful items, which we'll see later on in the video. Speaking of useful items though, diamond horse armor is found in chests located in dungeons and temples. Horse armor can be extremely useful. It protects your horse from taking damage. Diamond horse armor is the best armor, making it the hardest to find. Your best chance chance at finding horse armor is in an ancient city with a 16% drop rate in a chest. When you're in the ancient city, you also have a chance at finding one of the most famous rare items in Minecraft, the enchanted golden apple. It is one of the most useful buff items in all of Minecraft, providing resistance, absorption, and regeneration for 5 whole minutes. These have an 8% chance of spawning in ancient cities chests, but can also be found in other structures with a lower drop rate chance. Getting a stack of 2 enchanted golden apples is a 1% chance, and a stack of 3 is a 0.1% chance. This means that getting a triple stack of enchanted golden apples is near impossible. Even though they're very useful, they aren't as nearly as useful as an elytra, which gives the player an ability to fly around, making it one of the most useful items in the entire game, but they aren't that easy to get. Elytra can only be found in an Endship's treasure room located at the edge of the end. They cannot be crafted, however they can be repaired by either combining 2 damaged pair or 1 damaged elytra with a phantom membrane on an anvil. While you're on the Endship, you can also grab a dragon head located at the very front of the Endship. Just build a platform underneath the dragon head and break it, and it should go straight into your inventory. This is the perfect piece to mantle on your wall in your house, or build a shrine to and show off your fancy new rare item to all your friends. But one thing that will impress your friends even more is a fully kitted beacon. A beacon can be crafted using the nether star we got earlier from defeating the wither. While crafting, just put the nether star in the middle and surround it with 5 glass pieces on top and side, and 3 obsidian on the bottom. Activating a beacon is a huge status symbol in Minecraft and makes doing stuff around your base so much easier. For all of our hardcore players though, you're going to need a totem of undying, which can prevent the player from dying if held in your hand when lethal damage is dealt. Unfortunately, it doesn't prevent void damage, but these can only be dropped by evokers during a village raid or in a woodland mansion. They aren't a 100% drop chance, but they do have a high drop chance, so if you don't get it from your first evoker, make sure to kill as many as you can, because you can never have enough totems of undying. Not only do they provide health regen, but you can also get fire resistance and damage absorption. While you're gearing yourself up, you may as well also get a trident. Depending on the situation, the trident is very powerful and a useful weapon because it can either be used in melee or it can be used as a projectile. You can get a trident as an 8% drop chance off the drowned enemies who have spawned in holding one. Alternatively, you can loot a trident in trial chambers. I recommend enchanting it with loyalty so that the trident returns to you whenever you throw it. Minecraft's oceans have many more secrets, and this next one is even more rare. If you're brave enough to explore sunken ships in the ocean, you might be rewarded with a treasure map. Following this map will lead you to a buried treasure containing a heart of the sea, one of the rarest items in Minecraft. Alternatively, feeding a dolphin raw salmon or raw cod will have them lead you to the nearest buried treasure, shipwreck, or ocean ruins. Now that we have a heart of the sea, we can make an item only a small percentage of players have ever crafted. Combining the heart of the sea with 8 nautilus shells will give you a conduit. Nautilus shells can be traded at wandering traders or dropped from drowned mobs. After crafting the conduit and placing sea lanterns around it, you can use it to restore oxygen, give underwater night vision, and increase underwater mining speed. This item is rare because it takes a lot of effort to acquire, but the next 2 are some of the most infamous rare items to ever be in Minecraft. Starting with the deep slate emerald ore. They're only found in the deep slate layer, deep underground in mountainous biomes. Even though emerald ore isn't very uncommon in Minecraft, the chance of finding it in the deep slate layer is around a 0.01% chance per mountainous biome. This makes it the rarest ore currently in Minecraft, but the original rare item that started it all is the dragon egg. After defeating the ender dragon, you will find the egg set atop the fountain. However, trying to break it or mine it normally will cause it to teleport away. The best way to acquire the egg is to make it teleport, mine underneath it, and place a torch, then break the block it's sitting on. Considering you can only get 1 dragon egg per world, people have been using the dragon egg to taunt their friends for years as the go-to centerpiece for your rare item collection. Thank you so much for watching the video. This is my first video on the channel, so if you want to support me, leaving a sub would mean the world. See you later!